Okay, what is up? Okay, so today is a special day. I just made the trip to the great and wonderful land called Micro Center. Of course, if you haven't been there yet, I highly recommend you go to this place. It is a wonderful, wonderful store, and they have everything you need, and I mean everything. They have all kinds of parts that you need. And no, this is not a promotional ad. I'm not sponsored, obviously, since I have no subscribers. So I went there to go get a bunch of parts to do my new build. I have all the parts for a new build. Now, of course, I have a computer already that I'm using. It has a lot of outdated parts, but it also has a lot of newer parts that I bought within the last few months that I'm going to be sticking in this computer, as well as the brand new parts. So I'm just going to kind of go over all the parts that I did get. Then I will be doing a video on the build itself. I can't wait to get this thing built and ready and going. This is going to be a huge upgrade for what I have now. Right now I am using a Ryzen 5 2600 with the Radeon 570 graphics card. Originally I had 16 gigs of RAM, DDR4. Now I did go and buy some new kits, but unfortunately, since my processor does not support those speeds, I was not getting the full max potential out of my RAM. So I already have the RAM bought. I have the hard drives. I have a couple NVMe SSDs. So I got to be taking some parts out of my current computer, moving them to the new build when the new build is ready. I'm going to go through all these parts, and then I'm going to build this thing. It is going to be a huge upgrade, and I can't wait to be gaming on this thing and to be doing all kinds of stuff with it. Now, of course, this computer is going to be not just gaming. I want to do some video editing. The specs on my system is okay. My system is outdated. It's such a pain in the ass to do really anything, and also gaming, it's a pain in the ass to game on my computer. I can play Minecraft. Minecraft runs great. Now, I did a lot of research over the motherboard that I was wanting to get. I'm a big fan of Asus, and it really came down to Asus or MSI. In the end, I chose MSI. So yeah, this is the board I got, MSI Tomahawk. If you notice, I didn't go with the X570. Why? Because honestly, money was one thing. You know, the B550 chipset, honestly, in my opinion, is good enough for what I need it for. I wanted to save a little bit of money, throw that money towards something a little bit more important, like the graphics card, processor. And honestly, I don't think I can really max out the full potential use of the X570 chipset. So it's going to do what I need it to do. That's all that matters. And honestly, this was a lot cheaper than the X570 chipset. And I got me the Ryzen 7 5800X. I wanted something that's going to be kind of mid-range, still affordable, but also pretty powerful. Of course, the base clock on this thing is 3.8 gigahertz. The overclock max boost is 4.7 gigahertz. That is, in my opinion, that is more than enough. Of course, it has 36 megabyte cache. It is unlocked. Now, the only downside to these right here is that it doesn't have a cooler with it. So if you are looking to buy, you're not going to get a cooler. Now, of course, this is a new brand I've never bought before. I'm going for a white build. Well, they had a nice white cooler that has just a little bit of RGB, because I do want some RGB. I want this thing to look a little pretty, but I do want some. So I went with Deep Cool right there. So I'm not really going to pick this thing up. This thing is pretty big. I'll just flash an image of it right here. And I chose the Cooler Master. This is the Master Box TD500 mesh, and this is a white case and comes with 3 fans that also do have RGB in it. Of course, I was looking at the Fractal cases. Fractal makes amazing looking cases. I was really wanting one of those, but unfortunately Micro Center shows that I have one, but they couldn't find it. They had a customer in there the day before. They were trying to find it for him, couldn't find it. So there's a Fractal case missing somewhere in that store. I don't know. The last and final piece, and this was definitely the most expensive part, and this is probably one of my favorite parts. It is the AMD Radeon 6600 XT. This is the Red Devil edition from Power Cooler. This is one that I chose mostly because I read nothing but great things about this video card. I mean, this thing, all the people that have actually bought this card have just said incredible things about this card. Stays cool. They can basically throw anything at it and it just does whatever they need it for. 12 gigs of memory is PCIe 4.0 and for 1440 gaming, because I am poor and I can't get a 4K monitor. So I'm going to be doing at least 1440. That I do want to do. That's good enough for me. I don't want to go balls to the wall till maybe later on whenever, you know, I'm rich. So if you like, you know, send me some money. And I think this is going to work. This is going to work great. Save a little bit of money. Get something that's going to work great with the processor that I chose. It's not going to break the bank. You know, $500, $600, $700. I can't afford that type of money on a card. And I know a lot of you are probably the same way as well. You know, we have lives, we have family, bills, all that stupid shit, you know, worry about. We can't go spend all this money on fun toys anymore. Anyways, of course, the RAM that I already bought, I have it actually in my current system. Even though I'm not getting the full speeds out of it, I have 32 gigs of RAM, and it is the Corsair Vengeance LPX. I have 2 of these combos, so I will have a total of 32 gigs of RAM. Any other time, I would say 32 gigs is totally unnecessary if you are gaming. Thing is, I'm not going to be doing just gaming. This computer is going to be gaming, but also video editing. I'm going to be running, you know, OBS Studio and VMware at the same time. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff at once. I need as much power as I can. You know, I'm going to max that thing out. Now, I do run on Linux. With this build, I think I may be running, I may do my dual boot setup with 2 different NVMe M2 SSDs. That's really hard to say. The rest of the parts are in the computer right now. That computer's running. I'm downloading some games. I am hoping that when I get this built, I can get these hard drives in there. I can fire this thing up and I can start playing Cyberpunk tonight, or I don't know, Doom. Any one of these games that I bought on Steam and I've been dying to play, but I just could not do it. Couldn't do it. That problem is going to be solved. I don't think I have a single game in my library, or any game that I want to buy in the near future, I don't think it's going to have a problem at all whatsoever of running any of those games on this system. So I think I'm going to get off here. I'm going to set this table up. I'm going to get all the parts ready to go. I'm going to build this beautiful machine. Can't wait to see what it looks like when it gets done. It's going to be a white build with some RGB. So yeah, ready to go.